My soul needed a savage friend, a weird daredevil, but do you mend? My life became a dead end. Big C got me on the wrong track. Fought the cancer in a cul-de-sac. Lean says bite back. On life's jacked racetrack we react. Lacking the cool, but we lean and we loo.
안녕하세요. 저는 루입니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 레안입니다.
We were talking in our last few videos because we have different fandoms, so we have to keep saying the same thing over and over again.
So if you're a multi-fan and watch lots of our videos, I'm sorry that we keep saying this.
Keep saying it. But Lean has had a flu, which turned into a chest infection, and now I think she's got pneumonia. We forgot to mention she was also in hospital with that, so that happened. And then also her husband got bit by a snake.
Yeah, he got bit by an adder just last weekend.
We never even mentioned that in our other videos. And her husband was, her fiance. What are you guys? Fiance?
We're engaged, but I just never ever agreed to marriage. I mean, like, I did agree in the beginning, then I was like, you know what, marriages suck. Like, not marriages, but weddings. I freaking hate weddings. Anyone who reads my books will know this. If you're a long-term follower of my books, you will know how many times I've bitched about weddings and that I hate putting them in my books. Yeah. So I try not to.
I've never put a wedding in my book. I don't think I avoided like the plague, but
same.
Yeah. They just date endlessly. But I kind of, that's funny. But we've had snake bites, again, pneumonia. We think Lean possibly had COVID. And then we had me rushing to the hospital. It's on my social media, my TikTok, and I did explain in other videos, but rushing to the hospital thinking I had cancer. So we've had a lot happen. So we've had a sabbatical.
That makes it sound like you were a little bit delulu. You did have a reason to think you had cancer. Your doctor thought you had cancer and rushed you to the A&E. Oh no, you call it the ER, don't you?
As the ER, the emergency room. Yeah, everyone thought I had cancer, including my doctor and the ER physician, and they all told me basically I had cancer. And I did not. Well, I mean, I have had cancer. I'm recovered from cancer. They were like saying basically that they found another tumor cancer. So that's what the terror was. But yeah, it wasn't. So I went on a psychological roller coaster, and that is that. That's what we're going to say.
And I have all the voice notes to prove it, all 25 of them.
Hysterical voice notes.
Because I was asleep at the time.
So today we're going to start jumping into the BTS universe storyline thing. I'm going to say this straight out loud, and to you, Lean, I have a basic idea. I've never literally dived deep into it myself. I've read summaries about it and I know some things about it, but it's kind of a journey for you and me together. Even though I know the songs and I've seen the songs separately, I don't know exactly how the BTS storyline works. What I can tell you is this. Basically, from this song, I Need You, which was done in 2015, I think, BTS started the universe. And the universe is basically like, this will appeal to you as an author. Basically, it's an alternate storyline where each BTS member plays a character. So that's all I'm going to tell you on that. So basically, this is the first thing where they're playing the characters that they're going to continue staying in character for the rest of the BTS universe, which contains like, I don't know how many, like 20, maybe more videos or promotional media. BTS did a whole lot of other stuff around it, but we're mainly going to look at the videos that like pull in the characters. Okay, so they're friends. They're 7 friends, and they all have their own drama and their own lives. That's the BTS universe. And the only other thing I can tell you on this to make it easier for you is Jin stands a little apart from the other 6 members. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
That's the only spoiler you're going to get from me. So,
and I apologize in advance to the viewers for my coughing that we cannot help and my sometimes breathlessness.
Yeah. Just going to go.
I do try and mute my mic when I can, but you just have to live with it. I've had to live with it for 6 weeks, so you'll have to live with it too.
Yeah, she's going to go and see the doctor tomorrow. Okay.
Again.
Yeah. After finishing antibiotics. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, I think it's turned down. Yes.
everything, everything, everything. 흩어진 내 everything, everything, everything. 떨어진 너 때문에 나 이렇게 망가져. 그만하래 이제 나 안 가져. 못하겠어 뭐 같아서. 제발 핑계 같은 건 삼가져. 네가 나한테 이러면 안 돼. 네가 한 모든 말은 안 돼. 진실을 가리고 날 찢어 날 찍어 난 미쳤다 싫어. 전부 가져가 난 네가 그냥 미워. But you are everything, everything, everything. 제발 좀 꺼져. 미안해 사랑해. I need you girl. 왜 혼자 사랑하고 혼자서만 이별해. I need.
You're right, I have heard it. I just realized when I heard the chorus then. I was like, oh yeah, I do know what this song is.
Yeah, before we started this, I said, I'm pretty sure you've probably heard this on social media somewhere, but you haven't actually watched the video.
I've
or
only
seen the
actually
breakdown.
heard the chorus. I'd never heard the verses before.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think so far as like...
Sounds very much like a love-hate relationship with some toxic biatch that should probably get kicked off the balcony.
Yeah, so it's weird because in the song there's a dichotomy. There's like the lyrics which talks about a like broken up love, but then the actual stories of the characters go way different and deeper, and they maybe not perhaps related to romantic love. So that's all I'm going to say on that.
Lean is in sick brain and she's going to have to work.
She is.
Like, I'm leaving.
So just if you just examine each character, 'cause they have a little mini story in this video, and you kind of like, if you can summarize each of their little stories, you're onto a good path.
They're practically all sporting the same hairdo in this video.
Yeah, and so far what we've seen so far is just J-Hope taking pills out of the medicine cabinet and taking a lot of them. That's
Yeah,
what
they all
we've seen
seem
so-
very depressed.
Yeah,
They're all in their own little bubbles of depression.
They are. Okay.
need you girl. 왜 다친 거라면서 자꾸 네가 필요해. I need you girl. 넌 나를 깨워. I need you girl. 너무 차가워. I need you girl. I need you girl. I need you girl. I need you girl.
That was the Esmeralda flower that was burning.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I don't know enough of like all the BTS stuff to notice these things.
Yeah. Okay.
It goes round and round. 나 왜 자꾸 돌아오지? 하고 down and down. 이쯤 되면 내가 바보지. 나 무슨 짓을 해봐도 어쩔 수가 없다고. 분명 내 심장, 내 맘, 내 가슴인데 왜 말을 안 하냐고. 또 혼자 말았네. 또 혼자 말았네. 또 혼자 말았네. 또 혼자 말았네. 넌 아무 말 안 해. 하셔봐 내가 잘할게. 하늘은 또 파랗게. 하늘은 또 파랗게. 하늘이 파래서 햇살이 빛나서 내 눈물이 더 잘 보이나 봐. 나는 너인지 왜 아픈 너인지 너를 또
They're all showing different ways people handle sadness. Some get a bit suicidal, some get a bit rebellious, and some get a bit aggressive. Some wallow in self-pity in their own space. Like, it's showing all different ways that different people react.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And yeah, how they respond to trauma in their lives. I also think I like that they show the difference between when they're with each other, that they give each other strength and maybe they're happier. But then when they're alone and separated, the demons come up on them, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And they'll have their own different, like, not toxic behaviors, but their own not good ways of dealing with it.
Yeah. This very much BTS, you know, they're always about mental health. The song very much ties into all of that as well. So,
okay.
I need you girl. 왜 혼자 사랑하고 혼자서만 이별해. I need you girl. 왜 다칠 거라면서 자꾸 네가 필요해. I need you girl. 넌 나를 깨워. I need you girl.
Somebody need to be phoning 2 ambulances right now. We have a tried suicide and somebody's allowing himself to be beaten to death. Please, thank you.
It's so hard to watch this because it's hard to see BTS members, even though they're just acting, in pain, especially J-Hope. J-Hope, our sunshine, falling on the floor on the side of a highway after taking a whole bunch of pills. I can't. It's difficult.
I feel that's a very controversial thing for a Korean band to actually put in an MV, especially considering Korea's sort of like problems with suicide and stuff. I feel like that was probably a bit of a risky thing for them to put so obviously in there. They probably got a lot of crap for that.
They actually did. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily crap, but they made themselves stand out because what they did was, if you remember the first songs like Bulletproof and stuff you've seen from them, they went from Bulletproof and all that kind of energy and choreographed MVs to then reverting into character and storybooks. So the small army that they had at that time, because it was only 2 years, and also the media were like taken back because here you've got a band that's like all about choreography and that's their talent and that's their focus. And then they just went right from that straight into mental health. So they were still, even though they were still singing about kind of social issues, they then pulled into this. And so like the whip from that into something way deeper did make people sit up and notice BTS in different ways, I think. So
well played, guys. Well played. Okay, ready?
Ready.
I need you, girl. I need you, girl. I need you, girl. Girl, 차라리 헤어지자고 해줘. Girl, 사랑이 아니었다고 해줘. 내겐 그럴 용기가 없어. 내게 마지막 선물을 줘. 더는 돌아갈 수 없도록.
Okay, pause.
Why do I feel that Jin's like an angel or something and he's just waiting for them to come join him on the other side? They're putting this whole thing with putting him in white all the time and he seems like the only one that's not depressed.
Yeah.
He's just very ethereal and just hanging around. Is he already dead? Did he already do one? Is he the person they're all freaking missing and sad about and it's not about a girl at all?
Well, we're going to have to figure that out on the BTS universe. But basically, yeah, he's... I don't want to give it away.
Well, then wait till we get to the end.
You picked it up so early, yeah. But yeah,
you should know this, that I find weird things in videos.
You do. You picked it up pretty early. You've picked up the difference fast. What I can say, however, is did you look at V's storyline? Who do you think those people are? The person,
his parents. Well, his mom and his stepdad, maybe.
Yeah,
or maybe his real dad.
I think it's his sister and his dad. His dad. Yeah.
So hard to tell. Koreans look about 25 when they're like 50. So like it could be his mom, could be his sister,
could be. Yeah. So he's obviously in a family with an abusive dynamics, and he snapped. So
yeah, which explains his aggressive behavior outside of the home.
Yeah.
And Jimin's following in Hobie's footsteps and just trying to, end the way.
You're so fast with BTS Universe already, so okay. Let's continue on.
I feel like Jin is the one looking down, watching his friends all fall to pieces because of his departure and seeing how their lives are spiraling out of control and they're all like sad and depressed. And he's like in pain because he's like, if I was there, this wouldn't be happening. Like I would look after them.
Yeah.
Because like the big daddy of BTS, even though RM is. Because RM's the one that's kind of keeping his head down and just trying to ignore and get on with life and carry on. But he's also hanging out with dodgy people on like the fly. he's getting himself into bad like company. It's so obvious their lives are all spiraling off separately, not good, but when they're together, that's the only time they seem happy. But the only times they're together is when Jin is with them, which means they are no longer together. They no longer hang out together because there's none of that. So they broke apart as friends because Jin died, and that's who they're missing, and they're all sad, and it's destroyed all of their lives and their friendship.
So you've kind of hit on it, but you've got like 95% of it right.
Well, we've got 95% of the video. Well, sorry, about 70% of the video. Maybe in the last 30% I'll get it.
There's one little detail you got wrong. I don't know if I should tell her or not, because then that just gives away the whole BTS.
Wait till the
universe.
end in case I pick up on it. Because you know what I'm like? Sometimes I figure things out as we go.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you can tell me I was wrong.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot something. Yeah, I think you were very much right with the RM one, because I think he starts off the MV with a lollipop and he ends with a cigarette, which is kind of a symbol of like
following him in the rough crowd, changing, picking up bad habits. Yeah, because in the beginning he's like keeping his head down, going to his job and that, but he seems very isolated and alone. Then he's getting in cars with people that seem a bit shady.
Yeah, he starts deteriorating, which can happen. And I think it's a really good MV for people their age at that time, of like bad influences can ruin your life and change you and veer you off in a whole different direction, you know. So
it's also highlighting the difference. Like, so V's in an abusive dynamic, and he's obviously took it for a long time, and the way he's now like snapped and come through it is to become violent and abusive himself and actually murdering someone. But then Sugar's not really been in it very much. He just seems to be wallowing and playing with lighters. I'm hoping he's not going to burn his apartment down and like end his cell that way, which seems probable because they keep making him play with lighters. Jimin has just never got out of the bath. How he is not like a shrimp right now with wrinkly fingers is beyond me. But he's definitely heading that way.
yeah.
So it's weird. It's like a good that it shows all the different ways people react to certain things and how they fall apart. It isn't always just, I want to end my life. There's people like V that like attack people, but then there's people like JK who deliberately goes out looking for people to hurt him, and that is a very real trauma response. Is some people go and seek people to beat them up because they feel like they deserve it. They feel like they deserve pain and they deserve to be smashed about. So that is another response to trauma, or like going through something like that causes major depression. So it's like all different elements of how people handle grief.
100%. And you're so right in that. And Jimin and J-Hope in this have a similar mental health timeline. I think Jimin in the bath was trying to drown himself in a way, and J-Hope was trying to overdose, you know. So definitely those two are on that.
And Jin is just being serene but sad, but not sad about the same things they are. He seems to be sad because he can see what's happening to them.
Yeah. 100%. Okay.
Oh, for goodness sake, Sugar. That was so pretty. I was only partially hoping it was not death by fire.
Sugar. And can I just say how good actors they are, especially V in this traumatic timeline of like having to perform such a violent act on an MV. How good they are at communicating emotion. Unbelievable. And they were just 2 years in here. It's not like they were like more experienced BTS. This was their first MV where they actually had to dig deep, you know? So
talented boys. Even the ones that don't think they can act can clearly act.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Aww.
So I want to know what happened to Jin then. He's clearly like not with them, and he's not going through the same as them. And the way they had him filmed was completely different. While they were on dark, moody surroundings, he was in very light, airy, and he was all in white, and his little glowy flower thing. And the Esmeralda flower, is that not like a promise to meet again? Like the symbol of that flower? So he's dead, and he's the reason they're all falling apart. And it's not about a girl, it's about the loss of their friend, and that's why they've all went and split on their own ways and became so depressed.
See, I'm not confident with the BTS storyline, if other people could jump in. Lean is pretty much...
I know nothing about the BTS timeline.
This is my friend who's on the spectrum who can like pull anything apart. She's like the storybook queen, okay? But, okay, oh my gosh...
Right, what's the thing I got wrong? Now you can tell me.
See, I want to tell you at the end of all the videos, but I feel like you're going to forget and I'm going to forget. And because we sporadic with BTS, I feel like that it would be more beneficial for me to point out your path now. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to have like a slight spoiler. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, Army. Okay.
Girl, the likelihood is I'll have forgotten by the next time.
Exactly. That's why I was like, I better do it. So Jin is separate from them. Jin is, so think of Groundhog Day, right? So basically this is like a fantastical storyline in the sense that Jin is watching, I don't think he's necessarily dead, but he's watching his friends ruining their lives, and he has the capacity to go back and change timelines. So, like, sometimes in some of the MVs, you're not going to see him at all. He's the viewer. So we're basically watching through Jin's eyes.
So I'm taking this song then as before he tries to change a timeline because he just let them all die. Like just stood back and watched and cried about it.
Like got hit by a car.
Like,
yeah. So basically it's like, I guess the parallel to that would be if you're in a good friends group and something toxic seeps into that friends group and you watch all your friends spiral out of control and you don't have the capacity to change that. But I think in the BTS universe, Jin does have a capacity to possibly change this. See, I'm spoiling it. But
see, nobody would have got it for that video because that element doesn't even come into that video yet. That kind of just implies that he's a viewer of what's going on and unable to touch it. And the only times that they were happy was when he was with them, but he didn't seem to be with them now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we'd probably watched like 2 or 3 of it, if it makes it like, I would have totally got that.
Yeah.
That's how confident I am.
And I don't remember where it is in the BTS universe, but like it's almost like he left them in some way, not dying. I think he left them either by, I don't know, Army, I'm confused. Either he like went to live in America or did something else, but came back to chaos, or has a gift of seeing what happened to his friends when he wasn't, like after he left them. So like, but now he has this capacity to go back in time and fix it, apparently. I don't know. So that is all I know. I don't know the exact details of it. That's what I'm gathering from the BTS
or
universe.
Maybe it's not a capacity to go back in time. Maybe he really is just an angel now and he has an ability to change the past because he's an angel.
Could be. What are all your theories on this, Army?
Because he's dressed in white and everyone else in that entire MV is dressed in dark colours and moody surroundings, and he's in like a much calmer, ethereal place. And with the wee glowy flower thing, he's some kind of like higher thing.
Being.
Yeah. So maybe it's just he's been granted the gift of fixing his friend's life because he's such a good angel.
Could be. You know, I mean, like, I don't know enough about the universe. All I know is
nothing, so I can say what I want.
He's just like, yeah.
I'll just chuck anything in there. For right now, in this video, Jin's an angel.
Jin's an angel.
That flower is a symbol of meeting again, isn't it? I'm
think
sure that's
so.
what we got from the Smeralda
Yeah.
thing. It's like a promise to
Meet again.
yeah, something like that, to continue to care about that person, to meet them again. I'm sure it's something like that. So that would make sense as to him having that when he's all dressed in white and looking so ethereal. Because he was definitely not depressed, chaotic like they were. He was more watching them and sad about how their lives were,
Yeah.
but unable to do anything about it.
You're so good. So
Sick too. Rain is on slow-mo.
based on slow-mo, yeah. So yeah. So we have so far is we have I made notes about this the other day. I think I've got it here somewhere. Let's have a look here.
If you don't know, guys, Louise is a note taker, a list maker, a post-it user. Takes everything super seriously.
I have. So here's a summary of what happens in the video. So let's see what you got right. V kills his abusive father. You got that right.
Yep.
Jungkook gets in a fight with hoodlums in the street and then gets hit by a car. Oh, we just saw a car approaching him.
Yeah. The thing with JK is that's a very real trauma response, to allow damage to be done to you because you feel you deserve it. So that's what I got from his story. He was allowing himself, he wasn't fighting back in any kind of way. He was allowing them to beat him up and then walking out in front of the car because he just wanted to end it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Sugar sets his motel room on fire.
Why did I see that coming? They didn't even really show that much of Sugar, just him playing with lighter and lying in the hotel room, and I was like, he's going death by fire.
But the thing with Sugar is, so I wonder if, guys, can you tell us that the song by BTS Fire was done before or after this? It would be interesting. I think it was done at about the same time. I'm not sure.
Is that you try to tell me Sugar's got an obsession with fire?
Yeah, obsession with fire, exactly. He does though. Okay, and then J-Hope tries to overdose on meds. We know that. RM is insulted by a customer at the gas station where he works. Jimin tries to drown himself in the bathtub. Notice how Jin, the seventh and oldest member of the group, is the only one without the tragic backstory. His main appearance in the video is when he sets some flower petals on the floor and sets them on fire.
That's because he is the tragic story.
Is the tragic story. This flower, the fake Esmeralda, I can't say it without the S. Esmeralda flower has made many appearances.
Smeralda.
Just
start with an S. Just start with an S.
I can do Korean, but I can't do Smeralda. There we go. So, and then there was something else that said here. Let's just have a look quick. V kills his father. Mull over that for a bit. In the context of extremely filial Korean culture, this is extremely symbolic. Much like the younger boy, he becomes very distant from guiding figures, father, home, and friends. The latter is especially noticeable in future videos. Jimin tries to drown himself but can't do it. Not knowing how to deal with his problems, he turns to suicide, but something is holding him back, keeping him alive. This is most likely the presence of his friends. When the 7 boys are shown together, they are happy and temporarily forget inner struggles. RM works at a gas station where he's mistreated by a customer. And is the only member who's seen rapping and singing in the video. It goes round and around. I go down and down. I'm talking to myself again. His job is boring. There's nothing else to do. The lollipop turns into a cigarette stand for people who try to repress their addiction to harmful substances.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's one of those people that puts your head down and keeps trying to go on while falling into more bad habits and bad company. Yeah. He's one of those types.
So Rap Monster is somebody who wants passion music maybe, and is confined as a gas attendant. So J-Hope is seen as suicidal. Sugar, this is pretty obvious. He tries to burn himself alive. And his lyrics can be summed up to, I hate this, I hate life, I hate you. Jin scenes are much lighter than the other members. He's literally in a white room.
That's what I say, biatch.
You got it.
I got everything apart from his time jumping abilities, which, to be fair, they're not really in this video yet.
Oh yeah, and then Jungkook is a wandering lost teen. He accidentally starts fights with 2 hoodlums, but he doesn't have the willpower to fight back. Likely when he walks into the street as a car approaches, what Jungkook represents, especially as the youngest member, is a lack of hope and motivation that plagues many of the youth today. Yeah. I also agree with the way you saw it as well with Jungkook. So
I also agree with that. The defeatist. He's the one that can be defeated. Adam's the one that kind of accepts the situation and then spirals into less and less hope. The slow descent. JK is the one that just gives up hope from the get-go and just loses all will. Jimin's the one that clings on to a bit of hope, and the despair is taken him, but something holds him back every time. J-Hope is the one that fully embraced the lack of hope and everything was just gone and was ready to step into that other side immediately. Like, because he takes his pills right at the start of the video. Who have I missed? Oh, V. V is the person that when facing grief and trauma becomes abusive and violent and lets their anger out on the world. Like, they are very much the faces of the different ways people deal with trauma.
Yeah, it's totally true. Totally true. Totally true.
And then Jin, who was the cause of it all. Jin, we shall not forgive that behaviour.
And Sugar, which embodies the anger, the hate, the anger. So Sugar shows the
blaming
anger.
someone else for the predicament and he can't get past it. So he's like, as a big F you to you, I will traumatically burn down a building with me in it in the hopes that you regret what you did. Yeah, he is very much the anger and self-harm together.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was it. What do you think of the song though, aside from
because I'd already heard the chorus before, it felt like I knew the song even though I did it. So it felt very familiar and very weirdly comforting given the content of it. But that's because I've never seen the MV for it.
Yeah,
so,
it's totally different. Like, you think when you hear the song on the radio or something, you think it's a pretty nice song. It's not too deep. It's broken
I totally
love.
Disregarded them singing about a girl though, because in my head that's not what that song's about.
Exactly.
I feel like that was just a cover for Jin's deed.
Well, that's it. And I think also, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. It ties into the need that a lot of men have to be in a relationship too with something or someone, because that's where they find stability and happiness. And when you're alone and you're separated and you don't have that, then you can spiral into different mental health issues. So I think in a way it does speak to it, because when you have someone to support you at home and someone to come home to, it makes a difference. But when you have only abuse or you have like loneliness, you can end up going to the other end of the spectrum. So I guess in a way, maybe breakups can cause people to spiral in this similar ways.
For sure. They are pretty much the number one cause of why so many people's life spirals. Like, you literally destroy someone's life by just a breakup. I do feel like when they wrote the song, it was about that. But then when they came to making the MV, somebody was like, we could do a whole other spin on this and like give it another meaning. So even though they're singing about a girl, the MV is very clearly not about a girl.
Yeah.
But just about the different ways people deal with broken hearts. The girl thing is just a reason some people may have gone into depression or like spiraling, a breakup or a relationship.
Exactly. So yeah, that's IU, which actually is a really popular song. Aside from, I mean, like,
no, it's IU, not IU.
I mean, IU. I need you. I was gonna say I need you, but I left the need out. IU.
I feel like in my state of adult brain sickness, I should get a gold star.
You should.
Because that was a struggle even for me.
Yeah, and that was our homework for the day, so it's done.
Yay! So gold star for Lean then.
Gold star for Lean, yay! And the next video we're probably going to do is going to be a new artist. I think that's a Japanese artist. Somebody asked us to react to, so we're going to be doing that next. But thanks, guys, for watching. And we love that song. I mean, it's got a good tune to it, but it's also got some heavy mental health stuff to it too. So, but yeah, thanks, guys.
Annyeong.
Annyeong. You did a good job, Leanie.
Please don't.
Hey, fan bears. So fluffy.
What
so
is
cute.
actually wrong
You ready?
with you? You're
Dance
such
dance.
a freak.
Dance.
System failure.
Lean, saranghae.
Ew.